Try this here, Cody.
And we are live. Oh, I need a haircut bad.
You and me both.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. PAVU. Control for the win. There you go. Okay.
So you can see and hear us.
Yep. Okay. You ready to hit record?
Just a second. Okay, I'm all set.
What the hell was that? Oh, hold on.
What are you doing now? We're running into some technical difficulties or something of that nature. If you guys look behind me, it looks like a Bed Bath & Beyond blew up with a little bit of Fry's Electronics and or Micro Center, depending on your area of the country.
Sorry about that.
Did you switch hats?
No.
You were wearing that hat the whole time? Okay.
Yes.
I believe you don't get all defensive.
Jeez.
I guess I just wasn't looking at that part of your head until right now.
I don't know why not. Give me 1 second. I gotta modify this volume here.
Go ahead, mate.
Testing.
I heard that.
Okay, hold on. Let me think. Maybe here? Testing.
You
Testing. Testing. Wow, it's like it's maxing out.
Give us just a minute, everybody. We'll get it figured out. And by we, I mean I'm gonna sit here and let Door do it.
Was there something? Okay, let me try this. Hey, maybe that's what I was missing all along. Okay. Let me try that again. Let me see what happens if I go like this.
Martin, are you responsible for that rustling out in the bushes? Is that how you can see me?
I heard what I could only say was like almost like gunshot type sound.
The call is coming from inside the house.
Okay, we're gonna try this.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and hit record in 3.
Oh, just a second there, honey. Okay.
2.
Okay. Yep.
See, that's why
Yeah. But
that's why Steve C always starts at 5. It gives me time to, when he says 5, oh crap, launch Audacity. And then as soon as he says
no,
1.
Audacity's launch, I just have like 5 windows open, and they're stacked because I'm only running one monitor right now. I'm not going to get into that because it's going to raise my blood pressure. I'm going to talk too goddamn fast on the podcast. Anyway, you were at 3?
2, 1, record.
Check. Coming through just fine. This is me talking a little bit louder than I would normally, and I'm still nowhere near peaking. Are my levels okay on your end?
I think it's coming through very well.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Linux for the Rest of Us, episode 172. This is a show about all sorts of Linux stuff, hardware, software, whatever tickles our Linux fancy. I am Cody Cooper, aka Super Coop, and I am joined here, as always, by my good friend, the Linux Maven, aka Steve McLaughlin, the DoorToDoorGeek. How's it going, Door?
Hey, Cody. Dude, it's been a while, and I'll just say my addiction has only gotten worse thanks to you.
I don't doubt that. Yes, it has been too long. To quickly address that, we have a new schedule in the works. We're doing some testing. We're going to have regular Linux to the rest of us back on track from now moving forward or very soon. So for those of you who've been patient and interacted with us on social media, I appreciate it. Know that we're not pod fading. We're not anywhere near done. We're back on track. We're here to stay. Are you referring to the game stick?
Yes, sir. I have a very, I'm going to say, I'm okay with it, a very unnatural compulsion, urge, dependency, disease, if you will, of wanting small computers. Small, nearly quote-unquote pocket size is the real goal for this. I have the MK801, the MK802, the Raspberry Pi, the Banana Pi, Intel NUC, which is way too big, but it's still really cool.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have the Qbox computer, and now I have a game stick, which I can only classify as a horribly executed platform with what I think of as fair to good hardware delivery of a very minimal Android quote unquote gaming system that is rootable, ROMable, flashable kind of thing. With what I've heard from many people say horrible game controllers, to which I exclaim, they're not bad. They're, I think, decent for my hands kind of thing. Um, and with the dock that comes with it. So I've had lots of fun hacking and playing on that here recently. It's taken up some brain cycles over here.
Oh yeah, me too. I have yet to really delve in and really do what I want to with it. But a quick aside, my son, well, both my boys, one of them can't get in it yet. They have a new bunk bed in their bedroom. So mommy and daddy are trying to outdo each other hacking the bunk bed. Mommy put Christmas lights underneath the top bunk, so now when my
Ooh.
older boy is up at night, he can flick a little switch and he has Christmas lights. They're all the same color, but that way he has lights to, play in bed or read or whatever. And I saw that and I said, and she sent me a photo thinking it was all cool. I was like, oh, that's cute. I don't know if I want to outdo her because it might be counterproductive to hit. Anyway, I want to mount an LCD underneath that and have a RetroPie linked to it. But he'll have to. But hold on. But I know exactly where you're going with this. But the thing is, he'll have to earn controller time.
Well, that's good. But here's the thing: only outdo your wife if you're positive she's going to come back and outdo you.
Oh no! See, I don't do that. I have to deliver the death blow.
Oh, no, see,
Much
happy wife, happy life, not dead wife, happy life.
No. You get tested, in the animal kingdom, but you have to show your dominance in the home, and that's what I'm doing. If there were ever pants to be worn in this house, they are on my hips. I assure you, my friend. I know that you can't quite live up to that expectation in your house.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As he looks to the door.
I take offense to y'all statements.
As he looks to the door.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
You must be within earshot because you are really backpedaling.
No idea. Hey,
that chain
I take great offense to what you just said.
So fast in reverse.
Great offense.
He's on a 10-speed. The brakes are on the handle. That's why it's not stopping.
I can't believe you would question the level of testosterone going through my body, sir.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, go ahead.
Well, and that's what I just want to remind everyone, since the show literally kind of just started, we're still in that mode.
Yeah.
Think Penguin coupons. Support those who support free software as a whole. Support those who support your right to have as open hardware as possible. I know of no other vendor making strides to make that a reality greater than Think Penguin. I will say this. Uh, Give them an equal opportunity shot for your business. I don't expect them to get everybody's business, but give them a shot. And if it looks like they're getting into your price range, contact me. I can send you guys a free coupon code. All I ask is that if you do not use the code, please let me know so I can give the code to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely check out the website. They have a variety of devices now, and the catalog is ever growing, so they should be able to accommodate any one of your needs. And knowing you're not going to have to pay a Windows tax, and you're supporting an independent company serving the community, it's a win-win-win-win-win across the board. So definitely check them out. ThinkPenguin.com.
Yeah, and I just thought I'm gonna have to see if they have a TP, because I know they had some TP-Link based hardware. I want to see if they have TP-Link based repeaters, because in my son's room they have right now they have a Nintendo Wii that they said that they cannot watch Netflix on because it constantly buffers. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get a repeater from them that might help alleviate that situation.
Well, it would be all for naught because within the next 90 days, Nintendo is pulling Netflix support for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh well, there you go.
So, yes, by all means, get some repeater strength in your local wireless network, but you're going to have to rely on a different device. Perhaps the game stick.
My goal is to eventually put that game stick up in their room and have it as their gaming console. I'll also have to figure out a way to swap the internal storage for the external storage when it comes to priorities, because the internal storage on the SD card is only 2 gigs. I can put 32 gig SD card in the device. So there's certain games I just can't download and install because they're too big.
Oh, got it.
So I got to see if I can swap them back.
There's got to be a way. Nature will find a way.
Yeah, well, I know because it's truly Linux. I can go in and I can modify what's called the fstab file. Fstab file is nothing more than a catalog of hard drive partitions and what's going to get mounted where to serve what role, whether it's root, swap, home, external SD kind of thing. But I know tinkering with that might cause something to go boom. So that's my last resort of going in and actually modifying the Linux part of it.
Well, there you go. Well, report back and let us know how it goes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another quick aside. Yeah. Lately, I've been window shopping, and I say window shopping. I've been YouTube and website shopping. After talking with Aaron Turnbull and watching some video online, I'm really getting interested in quadcopters. So that's something I'm into now. I haven't bought one. I'm gonna go DIY. I'm gonna build my own. I think just piece by piece. Get the first-person view goggles, everything. I think it'll be a cool project for my son and I, because I'll be literally ordering it in pieces. We're just building things, and then one day we'll take it out in the yard, turn it on. Oh wow, can't wait.
Well, I cannot encourage you enough. Lean on people who have been there before, kind of thing. Liam Tidwell is a quadcopter aficionado, and I do believe I heard him say maybe building it yourself gives you a certain amount of respect toward the device where you're less likely to have it in a quote-unquote deadly crash if you build it yourself.
Yeah, we could talk about it forever, but I did not know he was into those devices, so I would definitely reach out to him. If any of you, the listeners, have any experience or are interested or have any advice to give me, links, resources whatsoever, please just send me an email to cody@podnuts.com, and I will take all that info. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'll say, he said you can get the POV, I believe it is, goggles. You can get a pair for as low as $60. He also does, besides quadcopters, I don't even know what it's called. It's basically like stealth bomber-esque, a foam wing with the one prop on it. You can either have the prop pulling the plane, or behind you can have it pushing the plane. He also flies those too, so he's been into this for a little while. He definitely knows his stuff, and he knows how to build them from scratch. He knows when to build them from scratch, why to build them from scratch, how to, or when to just go and just buy something. Because he said most of it is modular.
Hmm.
The only part that is only for that is typically the actual
The frame.
the frame itself, because the control, the headset, the battery, the camera, all that you can interchange between the
Yes.
devices.
Yeah, which is another benefit to doing it yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely have to. Yeah, I'll definitely hit him up. That's a great idea. Thank you, Dor. Okay, so for today, oh, we got some good links. Okay, Dor, are you still in love with your Chromebook?
My wife is, she took it.
Oh
I can't,
no. Okay.
I can't get it back from her anymore. She also lost the power plug somehow. I don't know how, because the device doesn't leave the house, but it was gone. I had to buy a new one of them. Um, it's remarkably well holding up. I mean, most laptop computers or desktop computers, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year after you get them, they age to such a point where you can tell they're not new anymore. I tell you, I was on the Chromebook like a week ago helping her with something on Amazon, and it was still just like brand new day one in speed and performance. So I'm still in love with the idea of a Chromebook, but I can only love it from afar now.
Well, now he and I both have the same model. It's the Acer C710, the original 11-inch Acer model. Uh, I still use mine every day, but I don't know if it's actually getting long in the tooth or I'm just trying to get it to age in my head so I can justify buying another one. Either way, it's acting a little on the slow side. I've done terrible things to it. I'll say terrible. My son a year and a half ago, maybe longer, got a hold of it, ripped the bottom panel off, took the hard drive and the RAM out. He was a small person then, very small child, so that wasn't good. And on top of that, I've installed all sorts of Linux on it. Gone into developer mode, flashed the hard drive. I mean, did all sorts of stuff. So maybe I've tinkered to the point where it's not 100% anymore. Anyway, the reason I ask is Acer is coming out with their third generation Chromebooks. Actually, by now they may have already, or very soon. I think it might even be next month in February. But they have a couple of fantastic models. Now, these were primarily geared toward education, but you can still anybody can just buy them off the website, and some of them be available retail as well. The one benefit to that is that they're making them a little more rugged. They can withstand higher drops. They can take more physical damage and kind of be rough and tumbled with, and they're still going to be just fine. They have another 11.6 inch, the Acer C740, which I believe is going to start retailing at $239, if I'm not mistaken.
It's either 239 or 249, I believe.
It's $259.99. Pardon me. 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gig SSD, and it's running the Intel Celeron Broadwell processor. So Intel, great for putting Linux on it. And then on the other end of the spectrum, they have a 15.6 inch Acer Chromebook C910, starting at $299 with 4 gigs of RAM, a 16 gig SSD, and also the Intel Celeron Broadwell processor. But the nice thing about the 15.6 inch is that you can get up to an i3 in it with a 32 gig SSD.
Yeah, see, that's right there. To me, that's the sweet spot. When you start getting to the i3 classification, you get basically a different level of computing power. The 4 gigs of RAM and that, I would have to believe, would be more than satisfactory for anyone who wants to open multiple YouTube, Facebook, or whatever tabs and have really virtually no slowdown.
Yeah, I know I could. Well, in the case of the SSD, I don't think it's an actual drive, so I don't know if it'll have a slot to upgrade that. But you obviously just throw more RAM in it, just to find a compatible, um, you know, chip, and you're fine. But I can't see. I mean, even the 320 gig drive I have on my C10, I don't think I have over 20 gigs on it anyway. I'm not using it as a storage medium. It's literally it's a workhorse. It's a work machine. I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of preparation for the show on it, a lot of web browsing at work, so on and so forth. So, but here's my question to you. Okay, now I've always been the guy 13.3 to 14 inch is like the sweet spot for me. It's the perfect laptop because after owning this for over 2 years, the C710, the 11 inch, the form factor, it's I would say it's not suiting my needs anymore. If I'm to especially invest in a second Chromebook and replace this one, I want to take it up a notch. But you currently own a 15.6 inch Lenovo laptop, correct?
Well, yeah. First I'll say the hard drive thing. I'm also in firm agreement. 99% of the reason I think they offer 32 gig drives is because people like bigger numbers. Um, 16 is probably nearly plenty for a large percentage of people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back in time. I had a Dell XPS M1210. It was a 11.6 inch laptop. Then I had my Chromebook, which is 11 inch. And I swore anything bigger than 13 inches was just a lunch tray. Just how fat were you of a person? Lunch tray was the only question, kind of thing. And then I stepped out on a limb, and like 2 months ago, I want to say now, I got the Lenovo Flex 15 touchscreen laptop on a tremendous deal, literally like 50+% off. I don't know if it's me getting old and my eyes getting bad kind of excuse, but I'm really liking the 15-inch screen. I don't like the dead space on the side of the keyboards. I don't really know if I like having a full numpad on my keyboard on a laptop, but the
Yeah.
screen part I'm very happy with. And I'll say this. I specifically got that laptop because it was a touch screen laptop, thinking, maybe, possibly, I might be able to, maybe, I don't know, put Android on it. I couldn't figure it out. I don't think you can put Android on it. So right now it is still dual booting only because every now and then I do have to go into iTunes and add a new podcast feed to it. So I still have Windows running on it, but I have Ubuntu running on it, running GNOME desktop, and I will say I'm understanding GNOME, and the touch interface to me is very much like the Windows touch interface in it's not overdone and it can make sense. Most other Linux desktops I've tried with the touch desktop just didn't belong. It was apples and oranges kind of thing. And if you mix an apple and an orange, I don't think it would taste very good.
We'll get a blender, a Blendtec blender, and review that on a different show.
Exactly.
So you're willing to forego the loss of real estate, well, the misuse of real estate on the keyboard end for what you gain with the screen. And he's gone. But that's okay. We'll just keep going. I don't even need him. He's not even. I'm the host. It's fine. No, I totally need Door. I don't know what just happened. Actually, you know what? He might be recording on the Windows drive on his laptop and it just crashed. Maybe, who knows? Maybe he had that Windows 10 preview installed. I'm gonna get so much crap for this. Maybe he had that Windows 10 preview installed, and it didn't like him talking smack about the Lenovo hardware, so it decided to crash. Or somebody in Redmond pulled a plug. Here he comes back. There you are. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I wasn't making a reference to you running Microsoft Windows at all during that.
No problem.
Okay.
I knew it was me because I could see on the other computer. It was still coming across fine.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's GNOME. I don't know.
Well, I'll re-ask my. Are you up and recording again?
Yeah. Well, it didn't stop.
Oh, okay. I'll re-ask my last question. You can just kind of make a note or make a marker and edit from here. So, being that traditionally I was trying to go toward the smaller form factor, it sounds like you are willing to put up with the misallocation of space on the keyboard end of the 15.6-inch laptop in exchange for the benefit of the display. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying the bigger screen. I will say, especially because the real reason I got the laptop is it's now my mobile quote-unquote Podnut studio.
Mm-hmm.
I can do everything I can down here in my lair, quote-unquote, I can do on that laptop, including audio editing and video editing. I can do all on that laptop, and that extra screen real estate I've grown to expect because I have these Asus 20, I think they're 27-inch monitors, maybe 25-inch monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
27.
I'm accustomed to that now, and I can't go back down to a smaller size. So if I did have an 11-inch laptop, I think my face would have been too close to the screen because I would have needed things too small.
Mm. Okay. Well, another benefit of getting the larger one is that you have a full 1920 by 1080 HD display.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is that. So yeah, and no actual price on the upgraded i3 model for that, but I'm guessing it'd be under $400.
That's what I'm thinking. 350 to 380 kind of thing.
Yeah, and tax time is almost here. I have some other things in the works. I think I'm just gonna pull the trigger and do that because I don't need a super powerful machine. I just want some. I love the Chrome interface. Oh, and if you guys really want to get some good ideas of what you can do or what you should be doing or what's even just possible with your Chromebook, please go over to Nightwise.com. Nightwise is part of the Podnuts Network. He released a fantastic episode recently on his video and audio feed, Life with a Chromebook. He has his own technology consulting business, and he used it in his day-to-day life along with using it at work. And it was a fantastic review of the device and what is actually possible. The one he purchased was the C730. It was basically the touchscreen version of the C720.
Right.
So yeah, very good. Check that out.
Yeah, and I'm a firm believer. Most people really don't need much more than a Chromebook for most of their normal quote unquote daily happenings.
Oh yeah.
The people who think a Chromebook is too whatever, honestly, I don't think have given it a fair shake, or they have unrealistic expectations of what they need a device for.
People will fear what they don't understand.
Yeah, and I will say Chromebook does have the ability control. I believe it's Control-Alt-T, just like in Linux, to pull up a terminal, and without doing anything to the Chromebook, without leaving it in its normal mode, you can do SSH connections into other devices.
Mm-hmm.
That alone adds a lot of capabilities, functionalities, and as long as you're okay with the Chrome browser and you visit the Chrome web store, there's a lot. You can get even audio editors.
Yep.
From a Chrome plugin kind of thing. It's really amazing.
There he goes again. Darn. Well, what are we gonna talk about this time, folks? Let's see. How about them Seahawks, huh? You see how I did that? I just divided the listenership right down the middle. 50-50. Maybe. Me, I don't watch sports at all. The only reason that I know, oh, here he comes. Okay, we better stop talking about that. Oh, okay, Door's back. How's it going, Door?
It's going okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to just reformat this computer.
Are you still running that old install of
Yep.
What was it again?
It's called.
I literally forgot. I'm not just being.
Same here.
It's that simple one with the.
It's the French one.
Oh, jeez. The only thing that comes to my mind is Mepis, but that is not correct.
No, it's not Mepis. Hybrid.
That's it. There we go. Yeah. You know, the Windows 10 preview's out.
Oh, yeah, sure, great.
Moving on. Okay.
Yeah, okay, really quick.
Sure.
Everyone needs to know this about Windows 10. Okay. Microsoft as a company has realized a lot of their quote-unquote failures, aka loss of money, because that's all they care about is loss of money, because they're a private corporation. All they have to do is answer to the shareholders. They've realized an incredible loss of money with Windows 2000, Windows NT, Windows XP, and people not upgrading their OS. So Windows 10, whatever. When Windows 11 comes out, that's where they're going to first put the stake in the ground, and it's going to basically be a subscription-based operating system. When you go buy your quote unquote new computer with Windows 11 on it, you'll get like 2 years worth of that subscription. But there will be a basic time bomb in the operating system when it's going to either tell you you need to give more money or the OS is going to just stop working. And I'm very okay with that because that to me will just further push people away from the Windows ecosystem. But I mean, I thought this back when I first heard the very first announcement of Windows 10 that it was inevitable. They're going to do this just because of all the money they missed out on from people using XP machines for, 12 years or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from a business standpoint, it's smart. And I'm not going to bash them whatsoever. I haven't installed it. I am actually going to install it on a drive on my new machine, which will be done in a couple weeks. And I might even do a little micro review, an honest what I think of it at that moment in time. That's to be seen, though. But yeah, and you have people still in this day in business environments, like important business environments, sticking with XP.
Yeah. Well, partially it's because they either are lazy or they don't want to encumber the cost or they just don't believe the risk that's involved with keeping it around.
Yeah, or they're just in denial.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But I will say that the changes that they've made, especially since the Nadella took over, a lot of them are positive, and I wish them nothing but the best of luck. It seems like they're trimming the fat in certain areas that may not be conducive to their future, and they're making some changes. How well those are going to play out over the next 3 to 5 years, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of changes. Oh wait, sorry, that's the next article. I found a very, very cool tutorial today, and kind of a step-by-step. Dor, have you ever installed Arch yourself?
Yes.
And that was, but with help from the community, one particular community member, if I'm not mistaken.
Well. Here's one of the misnomers. Arch is among the easiest Linux distributions to install and probably the fastest in installations because the installation does almost nothing. The installation just basically installs the kernel and the boot tool. And
it's
then it
the
reboots.
frame.
Yeah, and then it reboots and then you have nothing. You have to load everything after that from the desktop, networking stack, everything. I mean, everything. So to install, it's simple and easy. To configure and get up and running to a full desktop, that's where it becomes a little, trickery.
And beyond that, to customize it to your specifications even more.
Yeah.
But for those who may see it as a bit of a daunting task, and who've wanted to give it a try but didn't quite dip their toe in for fear of the commitment of time and or research, How to Forge put out a great tutorial on how to install Arch, also with the XFCE desktop. Now, I just saw this yesterday. I have yet to actually try it. I'm going to use it, though, to install Arch on a drive on my new rig within the next 30 days, and I'll report back. Because I would like to find, I know that the Arch wiki is fantastic. It's very, very in depth, and it provides you with fantastic information. But for those people who might be a little intimidated by that, this is another great approach, and I wanted to share it with the audience just in case you guys wanted to dip your toe in and try some Arch.
Yeah, here's the two things I tell anyone who wants to install Arch. One, you better have two computers. One to do the install on, the other one to look up stuff and follow the wiki on, or the tutorial, or the whatever on.
Mm-hmm.
But two, try to make sure the computer you're doing the install on is physically hardware connected to a network via Ethernet. Because to install WPA supplemental to connect to wireless networks, secure wireless networks, is almost doing things out of order during the Arch configuration. And if you do things out of order in the Arch configuration, that's when things cannot work or break. So always have a second computer and always try to make sure it's physically connected to a network.
Well, that's also just good, a good idea to have when you're installing any distro, because lately, I mean, I've been reinstalling Ubuntu for some folks, and then put 14.04 back on my main machine here. But I know that in the option of many installations of many distros now, you have the option of downloading updates in the background while during the main installation, which is going to go faster for you anyway if you have a hardwired Ethernet connection.
Right.
Yeah, so good practice all around. Thank you for the reminder on that door. All right. On the flip side of that, if you also do want to maybe dip your toe in and try some Arch, but with a little bit of different flavor, we've talked about Manjaro before on the show. A distro I still have on one of my machines that I really do like and appreciate the learning I've gotten done with that. However, they have a new release which takes advantage of it and also implements KDE Plasma 5, which I have very, very little experience with KDE at all. So from what I've been reading, even people who have been a bit ambivalent about KDE before and the Plasma desktop, because from my understanding, when it went from either 2 to 3 or from 3 to 4, like it changed drastically and kind of put a bunch of people off. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, that, and a lot of people think 4.0 was released basically too quick and it wasn't ready for prime time and it was a buggy and not complete kind of thing. And I think that's what really put off a lot of people. And of course the just old timers who were just happy with their 3 dot version.
Right. But this one looks really good. From what I hear, I have yet to actually play with it, so I just wanted to throw this out there. I actually have I have someone that I know who's really, really big into KDE and who loves Plasma 5, and I'm going to try to interview this person and try to have them help me understand, because I don't get it. The last time, honestly, and this is sad. Well, the last time I used KDE, I played with it for less than 4 hours when I did my one of my reviews for it wasn't Rosa. It was one of the it was one of like the Mandrake spins. But it's not Mandriva anymore. It's something else now. It was an episode of this show I did forever ago with Tracy Holtz. But before that, yeah, I used a Mandrake live CD. God, this was like 15 years ago, 15 years ago. I used it for about a month off and on just to do some playing around with Linux, and that's even before I really installed a full OS. I just remember having a friend give me a live CD and just thinking, oh, this is kind of cool, but it was way different, and I didn't really understand what I was doing, but that was mine available. So
Right. Well, I'll say a couple things. One, Manjaro is not Arch at all. It's using, like we were saying before, like the quadcopters, it's using the Arch framework, it's using the Arch style, but it is different. It is using its own repositories, its own methods of package insertion, if you will, into the repo. So it's not Arch. It's Arch-like. But using it will let you understand more about Arch. Now, I'll also say this. When people want to learn Linux, they shouldn't use Ubuntu because they learn Ubuntu.
mm-hmm.
They should not load Fedora if they want to know Linux because they're learning Fedora kind of thing.
Right.
When you're learning Arch, you are learning much more about Linux. Okay, and I'll say, to me, it's the complete opposite spectrum kind of thing. People who want to use Arch have more control over everything on their computer, number one, but they also have access, if they want, to the newest of the newest of the newest of the newest packages, which means they're incredibly nimble and flexible and everything. KDE is like saying, I want to learn Linux, but you're going to use KDE. Means you're not learning Linux. It means you're learning KDE, because KDE tries to encompass everything in the ecosystem onto itself. So to configure everything in your desktop environment, you have to use a KDE tool. You're not using a Linux tool. You're not using a tool that could be available on XFCE, any other desktop operating system except for a KDE-based desktop system. So to use Arch and to use KDE to me is kind of like, you know, you want a car that can carry 30 people in it, but you want to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Right.
Make up your mind. You should want to be one or the other. I don't. That's just my personal experience with KDE. I will say KDE has gotten nothing but better as time has went on, because I have continuously tried it here and there, here and there, here and there, here and there.
Hmm.
It has gotten remarkably lighter for what it is doing. It's still not even close to a light desktop, but it has gotten unbelievably more responsive and quick with each iteration that I've seen. So there's little doubt in my mind this 5.0 release is going to be something pretty substantial, and it's literally going to be a highly competitive desktop regardless of what OS or distro that you want to run.
Well, I'm looking forward to giving it a try. Yeah, because as much as I say I don't like the whiz bang and all the tricks, I do like all the tricks. I just don't like having all the tricks get in the way of my productivity. And if I can balance it in whatever realm I happen to be computing in, then I'm a happy camper.
Right.
Cool. All right. So for those of you, and Dora has talked about this, and it's just a truth that's definitely becoming self-evident here. The fact is, if you want, I mean, if you want to earn money in technology, Linux is got to be in your skill set somewhere, because it's only growing. It's a growing market. It's going to be a great opportunity for just people to strengthen their resume and their skill set moving forward. So the Linux Foundation provides some good certification for Linux sysadmin courses. Right now, though, they have a MOOC. I can't remember what it stands for there. Multi-online something course. I can't remember. Do you remember what MOOC stands for?
Oh, it is online course.
That's gonna kill me. Hold on.
No, it's not going to give you massive open online course.
That's what it is. Yes. So they have a massive open online course specifically geared toward uh, Linux sysadmin training. So this is to prepare you for one of their initial certifications.
Right.
Put a link in the show notes, and we'll have it available in the, or maybe the doc will also be available in the show notes. But for those of you who are looking for a structured yet self-paced way of going about maybe dipping your toe in or getting certified, this would be a fantastic option for you. I would check it out.
Yep. $499. Just letting people know it ain't a free course. It's a $499 course, but it's the kind of thing, to be quite honest. I'm going to quote a very old, and old I mean in not hip, not today, hip hop line, which was "Scared money don't make none." If you expect to spend no money and come into money, you're going to need a miracle to happen, because that typically does not happen. You typically have to spend some amount of money to make money. And $500, I can say, in the long run, at the end of the day, take a drink, whatever you want to say, $500 is a drop in the bucket for how much money you can make back. And everyone who is aware of current job markets will say the current Linux administrator pay scale is higher than the Microsoft Windows pay scale for the same exact kind of job task, with the same types of responsibility, with the same number of hardware that they have to support. So don't think of it as a $499 expenditure. Think of it as a $499 investment in a career.
And when you think about these certification courses, or even like some of the training materials, they can be a bit expensive, but yes, it is an investment. You're not taking these as a hobby. This should be a step toward that next level in your current and or future entry level career. You definitely got to see it as an investment. Excellent point there, Dor. And straight from the Linux Foundation too. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now on the flip side of that, let's say you're new to Linux or you've been using it a while, but you haven't really delved into the command line at all. I have a free ebook you can go download. Now, this I gotta give a shout out to Spaceman Pete, one of our favorite listeners. Spaceman, you know you're out there listening.
Mm-hmm.
I reached out and kudos to everybody else who responded to me on Google Plus. I sent something out, basically asking if anybody had any good resources for Bash or the command line that they would like to share with me, whether it be online and books they'd recommend, etc. Just kind of let me know how they got comfortable with it and using it more on a day-to-day basis. And I got a bunch of fantastic feedback from that. So thank you to everyone who contributed to that conversation. However, Spaceman threw out something quite funny. I almost ordered this book online on Amazon or podness.com/Amazon rather. But the ebook is available for free directly from their website because it was released Creative Commons from No Starch Press. So the book is The Linux Command Line, a book by William Schatz, and it's a pretty comprehensive start. It's 537 pages on the Linux command line. I have yet to read any of it. I just got how can I say this? My son is no longer interested in the HP touchpad at our home, so daddy gets to have it back. And I ordered a new case for it. They have those. You had a touchpad, you know the form-fitting case, the HP case they put over it with a little flip cover.
Right.
You can get them online now for like $4 or $5. So I'm ordering three.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm ordering 3 or 4 of those just to have them for spares, and that will be my ebook reader / ebook reference machine for texts exactly like this. Because I'd rather just read. When it comes to books, I'd rather just own the paperback or the hardback. That's just me and how I am. I've tried ebooks. I don't know.
I can see having an ebook just so you can do certain types of searches quicker,
Yes.
but to actually sit back, quote unquote, and read, I don't see how you can do it on an ebook or on like a piece of, on a device.
Now, that being said, I no longer have a Nexus 7. The 7-inch form factor for that type of consumption of ebooks is perfect. Now, if I still have my Nexus 7, on that I read several ebooks and it was fine. I have nothing really bad to say about it, but now that I don't have that device anymore, I'm just buying paperbacks for the novels I want to read, which are very few and far between anyway. But I was thinking, if I get this book, it's something I could take with me in my bag and read on breaks or have an excursion here or there. Go read it in the park whenever I go to a park. I don't know, sit on my couch when the kids aren't home, whatever. Be nice, but this is a free alternative, and if I can put it on that touchpad, hey, now I have an excuse to re-ROM the touchpad with a crazy hacked version of Lollipop that you could put on the HP touchpad, a 4-year-old tablet. It's crazy. I can't wait to do that. And if you're still listening, Christopher Benjamin, yes, it's that HP touchpad that you helped me buy online almost 4 years ago. So once again, thank you, sir. The power of the community is completely limitless. So yeah, if you want to buff up your command line skills, check out this free ebook. Link will be in the show notes. The reviews on it on Amazon were fantastic, and like I said, I almost pulled the trigger and bought it. I'm probably still going to buy the physical book, and if you get enough use or enough good out of the free ebook, then obviously try to contribute to the author or the publisher, and maybe buy, if not this book, another one of the books to say thank you, and keep that going, because it's I like to see artists and companies release their products in this way, without DRM. Free for everybody, but at the same time, you got to understand, they are putting themselves out there, and we need to keep supporting those who support us. So do what you can for No Starch Press.
Exactly. And there's no greater support than you can give than financial. And with that, we transition to a inline ad here. This show here today is brought to you by every one of the listeners of this network. Everyone who has went to podnuts.com/Amazon, you have given Podnuts, I believe, the biggest month in its history this past December in affiliate commission earnings report kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you guys make it possible for Podnuts to do what Podnuts wants to do, make the kind of content Podnuts wants to make, not have to worry about, stress about other vendors making other vendors happy. We don't have to break into shows with cheesy 80 radio style ads saying things about a product that we're getting paid to mention. Every product we mention, like on this show, we say it out of love, respect, or desire. We don't say it because we're getting paid to. And that's the kind of value that we try to focus on here as much as possible. You know what I mean? If the right person comes to me and wants to do an ad for this show, I'm on board. But because of you people out there, we don't have to do that every week. We don't have to go and find a new sponsor and negotiate and then come on the show and spend 3 minutes jabbering the same exact line you hear from us every episode about the same thing over and over and over again in a monotonous fashion. So thank you, Podnuts listeners. You guys, to me, are the most engaged, the most positive audience I think I've ever witnessed in any field of anything. You guys are awesome. I cannot thank you guys enough. I do plan on doing at least a couple of giveaways this year on this show to show you guys appreciation that what you guys are doing is really and truly helping this network out a lot.
Yeah, what he said, plus infinity. You guys are great. Every time, and lately I've been a little more engaged with social media. You can find Cody Cooper on G Plus or at Cody Cooper on Twitter, asking some questions, throwing out some conversations there, and I get, and it's not even like the same 5 or 10 people responding. I'm getting a lot of different responses. So, thank you very much for your support there. Helping further our relationship with you. And yeah, much thanks to using the podnuts.com/Amazon link, because if you're going on there and buying stuff anyway, and if you like what we do, you use that link, you support us a little bit with the purchases that you're all going to make anyway. It's a win-win for both of us. Speaking of good shows, I'm going to skip ahead here. Because this is a good segue. Another good show that a good podcast and a good technology show that I really like, and we've spoken before about, is Linux Gamecast Weekly. Good friend of the show, Pedro Mateus, was on a few episodes back, interviewed him. If you haven't had a chance to check out that episode, please do. Even if you don't game, he has some good Linux conversation in that episode, so definitely check that out. But if you're into gaming at all, and especially thinking about the strides that Linux as a platform has made as far as the games that we have now versus even 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, it's leaps and bounds ahead. This show is one of Dora and I's favorites. I will say up front, it's not family friendly. Well, it's not all family friendly. Some families, I'm sure, would really sit back and get a kick out of it. I will say that. But maybe don't listen to it around the kids first. But definitely check it out. They have a new fundraising campaign going on through Patreon. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Patreon, you can sign up to be a patron to give X amount of dollars or cents per episode, and then you get goals depending on how much money they can get per episode. And they, I believe, are on tier 2 or 3 now. But if you're into Linux gaming, you could check out their back catalog of their 3 great guys. There's a 4th one who they're very close to securing as another host if they hit another Patreon goal of theirs. But I would definitely check it out. Head over to patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. That is patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. Check out their show. Especially look ahead at some of the tiers that they can get to for the prizes. Some of them are pretty comical. I would love to see those happen, but they may be out of reach for the audience that listens to any podcast yet. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'll say, first off, I think it's an utter ridiculous shame they only have 9 patrons so far. For the people who listen to that show and to listen to this show, I'm shocked. That's all I'll say. I'm shocked they only have 9 people so far. Because while they are extremely animated, and they have a deep vocabulary when it comes to being expressive, is what I'll say. I have not heard anyone be as unbiased and shoot straight about games before. I hear a lot of a lot of fanboys or a lot of people who are doing it as a job kind of thing, where they're very one side. They're very, they don't really like talking bad about this brand or that brand kind of thing. These guys will tell you unequivocally if the game is crap or the game is good. If the game doesn't install or it installs clean. Whether they have video or audio artifacts or it ran good. Whether the controls suck or they're good and dynamic and reconfigurable. And that's what I look at when I look at games, because I don't have a lot of time to play for games. I don't have a lot of time to play around either, figuring out if a game's good or not.
Right,
okay?
right.
These guys give me, I'll just put it like this, the straight dope on whether a game is even worth my time approaching. That alone is a value to me. Me as an adult, as a parent, as a podcaster, as a husband, as a 9-to-5 worker, they literally shave hours a week off what I would have to do if I wanted to sit down and play games. I wouldn't have to investigate. I wouldn't have to look. I wouldn't have to research. I would have to do a whole lot of jumping through hoops that I would normally have to do, because all I have to do is just once a week listen to these guys talk about their experiences with games.
And I'm behind on my listening. I'm about 4 or 5 episodes behind, which I'm going to get caught up on this coming week because I'm off most of the week. I'm going to get caught up. Damn it. I'm going to do it. But I don't know to what extent they are advertising this at all. They didn't ask me to do this. I just saw it on Ven's Google Plus feed. I believe that's where I saw it. Anyway, I thought, oh, well, cool. And let me tell you, I'm going to be the 10th, if not the 15th or 20th patron come payday in a couple days. But yeah, fantastic content. If it's something you get some joy or good information out of, consider supporting them in that way, because just like all the podcasters, there are costs involved with the show. The more that they get from this, they will put back into the show in one way or another and make it even better moving forward. So once again, patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. Check them out.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. A lot of people... Okay. I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the show. I have an extremely hard time supporting organizations versus supporting individuals or people, because if an organization does something wrong, I cannot drive up to the organization and ask them questions, because I would constantly be redirected to somebody else. AKA, I can't just walk up to him and punch him in the face. If it's an individual, that's an individual that has to, quote unquote, answer to me giving money. And while they don't have to necessarily answer to me, I at least know who to question. Kind of thing. I will say I am literally doing my Patreon before this show is done. I'm going to have my Patreon for them all set up. There's no reason to not support people who put out good content. Period.
Fantastic. Let's mention it on the next show too, and I'll do mine live on the air so that we're even. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. And if as an extension of what Dor just said, if you want to punch Ven Stone in the face, chances are, if you look at where Google Fiber is available in the Atlanta area, he's probably within that radius.
Exactly. You'll know anywhere to start.
It's a safe bet. Give it about 60 to 90 days, whatever the install area is for that. And I'm betting if you just ran around looking for maybe a bit of darkness pouring out of a window, or someone, or maybe close by to a good shop that sells some really nice craft beer, he's probably near there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So, let's see. Let me go back here. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. So this just made I just applauded earlier when I read this, and I've read a couple other articles which touch on this exact same topic, and this distro has been mentioned every time, and it just brought a smile to my face and put my hands together. Linux.com put an article on the website and shared it out through social media, the 4 best Linux distributions to watch for in 2015. I'm going to go ahead and read them from the bottom once this article loads. Here we go. So number 4. Here we go. Ozone OS. Let me see here. See, if you've used Linux long enough, you've heard of the Numix project, which I have. Numix has been for some now behind some of the best looking themes for GNOME and Ubuntu, so it makes perfect sense that designers and developers of the Numix product move on to develop their own flavor of Linux. That is what Ozone OS will be. Sounds good. All right,
Yeah.
so
I can't say I've ever heard of Ozone, but if it's to keep an eye on, then I guess I should keep my eye on it.
Yeah, totally. Number 3, Corora. Corora was born out of the desire to make Linux easier for new users while not sacrificing features and power for the experienced. Corora is a Fedora remix that allows you to choose between KDE, Mate, Cinnamon, GNOME, and XFCE desktops, including a number of packages that Fedora cannot ship due to licensing issues. Well, that sounds cool.
Yep.
Nice, clean XFCE interface in the screenshot there. I like that. Dig that very much.
Yes, and I'll say, looking at it, it did not ring a bell at all. Then as soon as I heard you say the name, because I'm a podcast listener, oh, Corora! Yes, I have heard of that one before. Just because it's Fedora based, nope, ain't touching it. But it looks good.
Yeah. All right. Number 2, Sparky Linux, the Game Over Edition.
Yeah, see, I can't. I'm never going to install that one.
Yes, you will.
No, I'm not. It sounds too close to something that really makes me grind my teeth, so I'm not going to do it.
What, like Hannah Montana Linux?
Nope, not going to stay on the show either.
Oh, okay. I get the Iggy. I get the. Is that the right wrestling term, the Iggy? Or
Yes.
is it K5? I can't remember. Oh, it's been so long. I'm out of the loop. I'm not gonna go watch Raw again though. You'll never see me on Mondays again, or Tuesday mornings, or Sunday evenings for that matter. Okay, so Sparky Linux Game Over Edition. Are you ready to play a game? Sparky Linux is yet another addition to the lightweight category of Linux distros. It's based on Debian testing. It's a rolling release distro, offers a number of different desktops to choose from LXDE, Enlightenment, OpenBox, JWM, and Mate desktops, and offers support for most wireless network cards. Interesting. I don't know if I'll be installing that either. I need to give it I'll give it a shot sometime. I'll put it on my list of distros to install. How about that?
Yeah, it's at least interesting. I will give it that.
Yes. I'm sure it's within the top 4 distributions to consider during this year of our Lord 2015. However, the number one distro, according to Linux.com, albeit close to straight from the source, okay, that the number one best new Linux distribution to watch for 2015, Evolve OS.
Testify.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, listen, okay. I am in no shape where for a profiteer or anything. I just know this. When I first saw what Ike Doherty was doing on I can't remember the name of the old distro. It was like Sunshine.
Solus.
When I first saw what Ike was doing, one person was doing with Solus OS, I knew this kid, quote unquote, is going to do something big. Might not be in Linux. He might do something big in motocross. He might do something big in math. I don't know. But this guy had potential. This guy had real, honest to goodness potential. And then now when I'm seeing what he's doing with Evolve OS, I have little doubt in my mind he's going to make an impact on computing, whether or not we know what he's doing. Because I'll say right now he does have a job that I don't know how much he talks about, and I don't know, and I don't think we see in the change log for this company's products, with help of Ike Doherty, we were able to get to know. We don't see that.
There are no credits.
Right, there's no credits, but he is doing stuff right now. Okay, just because we don't see his name, trust me when I say this right now, this guy knows a hell of a lot more than what he's letting on that he knows. And if you just take a look at this desktop, that he basically now has built the desktop, and he has the rest of the OS behind that kind of thing. How many people can even do that? How many people have the acumen and the patience or whatever to do that? And I don't think there's a lot of people. But for him to do that and to pull it off, he's not just doing it, he's pulling it off. He's making these kind of lists. He's getting this kind of attention. I encourage everyone, evolve OS, put it in a VM every couple months and just look at it. See what he's doing. See what he's thinking an interface should be. Look at how he's thinking a operating system should be laid out, because something tells me other people, other developers are going to nitpick stuff out of his concept and ideas and start to put them in theirs because they make sense. A lot of what he does to me just makes sense. And I'm really honored to say I've chatted with the fellow, the bloke, the lad, whatever, him. And he's just a really, in my opinion, straight up guy, really easy to talk to, and he makes really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I don't remember offhand what episode. Sometime last 10, 15 episodes, it looks to the rest of us, Martin Obando and myself got to meet the guy in person, and what a dude! It was a night to remember. I'll say that. And we got some awesome conversation, not only about that project, but his past in technology and potentially his future. So go check out that episode. But yeah. Knowing that he did, a lot of this by himself, and now since he's been so, I can't speak to this 100%. I would have to assume that because he's been so open with the development of it on Google Plus the past 6 or 12 to 18 months, he's literally shown you step by step like things he's doing in Inkscape to change parts of the graphical interface himself. I know he has got some fellow contributors and partners in certain aspects of this project that is making it even stronger. To be able to do this by yourself is great, but if you can get contributors that have the same vision as you and can help you execute it that much better, then more power to them. Yeah, I cannot wait to put this on a box or in a VM soon. It's way above my list right now than that other. Oh geez, here we go. Yeah, it's if Sparky Linux is on my list, Evolve OS is way at the top. Way at the top.
Yeah, and I say
Uh-oh.
I know I've said this. I guess I'm here. I don't know if Katie's here.
You're here. You just cut out for like a microsecond. It's all good.
Yeah, when I sometimes hit keys on my keyboard for some reason, it mutes the mic. It's been going for a while. But I don't know if I said this here, but contributing to something out in the public eye is number one way I'm going to say to be able to get a job, get money. There's little doubt in my mind Ike Doherty has the job that I know he had. I don't know if he still has, that he had because someone saw what he was doing out in the public sector kind of thing, out in the free world, out on the public-facing internet. So it's another reason why doing things in communities, doing things out in the public is good for your career, especially when it comes to any kind of development, whether it be software development, desktop development, web development, operating system development, kernel development, community development, anything where you can show your trade, your skills in the public sector. Whether or not you're working with people is optional, but just do it out in the public sector because it can draw attention from people when you're really good. It's the kind of thing like, hypothetically, I'm really good at ping pong, but nobody in my family likes ping pong, so none of them respect the fact that I'm good at ping pong. But if someone random is driving by my garage one day and I have my door open and he's seeing me practice ping pong, for all I know, he's a guy who can give me a contract to go fly overseas and play ping pong. You know what I mean? It's just a question of the right person seeing you. And if you do this kind of task, these kind of things out in the open on the public internet, it's much more likely someone will see you and you'll be quote unquote recognized for it.
While I agree with every word you just said, I can't help but think of you and I traveling the world, me being your manager, you being a professional ping pong player.
Yeah, but I would first have to get a hairpiece and like a see-through or like a sparkly ping pong paddle. It's
Yeah,
flashy, something flashy.
and at least on one hand, you have to have one of those carpal tunnel like
Braces.
wrists. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then what kind of injury would you what kind of physical impairment would you have to overcome during this journey? Would it be
Scoliosis.
okay? As awful as this sounds, though, could potentially be to your benefit in a ping pong game.
Exactly, exactly.
We just lost 5 listeners, easy right there.
I make it work for me.
There, yeah. See, it's all about turning your weakness into your strength.
Right. And I can say that because clinically, I do have a level of scoliosis. Nothing, of course, debilitating or requires surgery, but I technically have scoliosis.
And I'm gonna have carpal tunnel eventually. So
There you go.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Come after us, ADA. I don't think so. All right. One last thing. Oh yeah, Door. I'm gonna let you mention this because this is fantastic, and I'm not gonna allude to it anymore because I'm gonna spoil it. Just talk about the next thing.
Well, I mean, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag per se, but what I want to say to people is I do believe we have one of the more highly engaged communities out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to quote unquote pay back as much as possible. Okay. I did Linux for the Rest of Us video series years ago now. I don't know, 4 years ago, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It did good. It did good. Okay. I was much closer in a timetable. Looking back on the timeline when I did those videos, I was much closer to being a new user. So I understood a lot of the concepts, a lot of the trials, a lot of the tribulations, a lot of the wants, a lot of the desires for someone just starting out with Linux. I'm now 4 years or whatever past that. So I'm further away from knowing, understanding new user experiences. And I would like to do another video series literally to help people. That's the first goal, to help people. But I think I'm going to need help to do it. And by that, I think I'm going to need support and ideas and concepts and verifications on when I do videos that I'm doing them right, that I'm verbing it right for the newer user. So if you right now go to, and it will be in the show notes as well. It's called the Linux for the Rest of Us Club, based upon the Android App Addicts Club and the success we've had with that. So if you go to podness.com/Linux for the Rest of Us Club, or just to any show in the show notes, there'll be a link to it. And you can join. What you're joining is a Get Response newsletter news list. Okay, that's step one. You're guaranteed never to get spam from us. You're never going to get anything from us except for information about the club itself. You're never going to get links asking people to go spend money at this company because I'll get money back. You'll never get, hey, what's up, everyone, email. You'll only get email related to the club. Now, what I plan on doing is having a WordPress instance installed on linuxfortherestofus.com, where when you're a club member, one of the follow-up emails you'll get is a invitation to register at that domain under WordPress. And that will be a community where I will host the videos, interact with the members, let you guys have early access to every video, asking you, what do you think? Anything I did wrong in that video? What should be my next video? Did I say something out of page? Anything. Basically, you guys can be my editorial staff and my guidance staff on what to do next, kind of thing. I do have a list of like 20 or something videos right now that I'm thinking I could do, but there's always more. My real goal with the video is this. Everybody who's a member of the club will always have access to all of the videos completely for free. Okay? But what I ask people is, don't publicize, if you want these videos for free, go here and join this. No, I don't want those kind of people to have access to the videos. I want community members. I want pod nutsians. I want people who are part of our network, people who are part of our community, people who can actually help with the process to be in this community, not just people who want free content. When I'm done with the videos and they're all complete, I will then, on Linux for the Rest of Us main page, put them up for sale. So when people just randomly find them, randomly stop by, if they want the videos, they can pay for them. Because they're not community members. They're not part of the in crowd. They're not part of our network. If someone discovers our show and discovers we have these videos and he likes our network, he can go join the club and get the videos for free as well. I'm not going to hold back those people either. But for the people who just randomly find it on the internet, they're going to be the ones who I'm going to charge. And I'll say, if you're a community member and you just want to support me, you will be able to go back and quote unquote buy the videos. That's going to be something purely optional for everyone. But step one is to just join the club. I have to get the SSL cert done on LinuxForTheRestOfUs.com, because if you are going to put in a username and password, I want it to be on a secure website. So I got to get that done.
There you go.
So once I get that SSL cert done, I can start building the WordPress community there. It's going to be a very simple place where I'm just going to, at least once a week, post something, which will also be sent in the newsletter, about here's a video I'm looking at doing. What do you think is important that should be said about it? And people who are in the community will be able to comment on that posting in WordPress. Only members can comment. And then after a week, I'll start to make that video, and then I'll post about the next video. Or I'll say, what video should I do next? And I'll keep doing that, and I'll keep moving forward on making more videos for people to help learn Linux. And it's going to be based off of Ubuntu 14.04, because that is the long-term distribution that I believe now has at least 4 years, 3 months more of support.
Mm-hmm.
Its backing. So I want to do a video series on a long-term support series of Linux, and there's nothing that to me hits the intersection of convenience for a new user with the power and the long-term support distribution kind of thing mixed into one, and the stability of distributions. I can't do it for Arch, okay? Because it would be 5,000 videos. Okay?
Yeah, right.
I can't do it on Fedora because the videos would only be good for 14 months or whatever. So to me, the crossroads of stability and long-term support is Ubuntu. So that's what I'm sticking with. And if you're the kind of people out there that complain that this show talks too much about Ubuntu, blame Ubuntu. Okay. If Debian was more popular, I would be talking about Debian. If Fedora had more long-term support and was more end-user friendly, I'd be talking about Fedora. But they're not. Ubuntu right now is that quote-unquote distribution, so that's the one that we end up talking about the most. And it has a lot of active development on new projects. So when we talk about a new piece of software coming out, we don't say it's available for Gia or SLIDAS. It's available for Ubuntu.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry for the people out there who don't like it. Go listen to something else, I guess. I don't know.
Have you ever installed that Ubuntu phone? The
No,
ROM?
I was never able to do it because I was a Verizon member, and it was impossible to work on the Verizon network. You could do it on a Verizon phone and get Wi-Fi, but not actual phone access.
I got this Nexus 5 sitting here, not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna give it a try.
Tizen is loadable on that, and Ubuntu.
Oh, I wasn't aware of Tizen. That's cool.
I'm gonna say this. No, Tizen, Sailfish, Ubuntu, Android, or even, I believe, if you want to, literally, you could load Windows Mobile.
Yeah, I'm not that hard up for anything.
I didn't think so.
But Matthew Williams, aka Lord Dragonblood, he sent me a link how to turn the. I'll find it. I'll find this after the fact and throw this in there for any of you who have a Nexus 5 line. I mean, that's such a first world thing to say. Yeah, I got a Nexus 5 laying around not doing anything. I upgraded. I haven't sold it yet. That's all I'm saying. It's not a paperweight. I'm not using it to hold some, bills that might in danger of being floating away from all the fan activity I have in here from all the people fanning me, keeping me cool in my home. Yes, they're there. But no, that's not what I'm saying. But he sent me a good link on Google Plus on how to turn it into a Pwn phone. Yeah, which I don't know. I want to play with it so bad. I just don't want to go to prison.
Exactly.
But yeah,
that's why I don't ungun. That's why I do not own any guns, Cody.
Yeah.
Because in my hands, it's only a matter of time before someone really just makes me mad and I'm a little bit too impulsive kind of thing, so I just don't own them. It's better to know your limitations.
I was just about to say that life is all about limitations. Becoming an adult is understanding and working within them.
Yes, exactly. And I know. I know. I know. And the other reason I don't own a gun is I'm sure either I know I don't want to say okay. My wife would probably shoot me.
Well, speaking of limitations, just as our good friend Barnacle Joe said.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
God, I miss Barnacle Joe.
Oh man. Do you think he's dead?
No, I'm sure he's not dead. He'll live forever. And I'll say this. I told Russ Winter this last week, and I could literally, in Voxer, I almost got sick to my stomach because I could feel the sadness and sorrow in his voice. It hurt. It literally hurt me when I realized I was the first person to tell him this, dude, and I'm not lying. And right now I'm getting a little emotional because Russ Winter means a lot to me. When I told him this year there is no Northeast Lennox Fest,
Oh yeah.
I literally heard him break on Voxer. It literally hurt the hell out of me. A lot of stuff happened in the last year. Jonathan's been unbelievably busy.
Yeah.
Basically, time got away from him. So this year, there's no Northeast Lennox Fest. There's no get together up in Cambridge. There's no chance of seeing Barnacle Joe. We're not riding their immaculate, as far as I'm concerned, metro system. We're not able to go to Superior Liquors. We're not going to see Mad Dog up in Cambridge.
I just want to go live at Mead Hall.
Well, we're never going to see Mad Dog too. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure Tracy's heart broke a little bit too because he was in love with the sour beers they had there.
dude, just the fries, everything. I've never encountered such a knowledgeable, courteous wait staff ever.
You never will again.
No, no, it's. I don't need to go anywhere else. And everywhere else I go disappointed now. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Yeah, you know about the 4 beers you have on tap. Congratulations.
Exactly. And for anyone who owns stock in or really likes or works at Outback, I'm really sorry, but this is what it's like if you're not a beer drinker. It's like going to Outback for years and thinking, this is a really good steak. And then going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse. And then going back to Outback. And you're cutting that steak thinking, this is not a good steak.
Mm-hmm.
It's that same kind of mentality. Unfortunately, now we've been blessed by witnessing Mead Hall, and everything else just can't stack up. If
No.
given the option, I would probably go into hypnotherapy to wipe the memory of Mead Hall out of my head so I could once again enjoy going out and having a beer.
There you go. Yeah, if you're anywhere near Cambridge, Massachusetts, man, it's not just Dora and I. Like everybody who went with us. I have to give mad shout outs to Chad Wallenberg.
Yeah, the man.
I was at the hotel. He goes, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm at the hotel." He goes, "Cross the street. Come over to Mead Hall." I said, "I'm meeting some guys for lunch." He goes, "That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Come across the street to Mead Hall." I followed his directions, and every single night, every single day, at least twice a day, I went to Mead Hall, just to make sure they were still in business and to make sure they still had that. Oh no, I forgot
Revolving
the name
door?
of it. Well, yeah, they have a revolving door.
Yeah.
How awesome is that?
Yeah, I know.
No, but oh my God, it was an Imperial Stout. I have it written down somewhere. But yeah, oh man, it was way too expensive. But I had cash to burn because I was on vacation.
Exactly.
It didn't even matter.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. Chad Wallenberg would never listen to this show. Chad Wallenberg is too busy. Chad Wallenberg is technically an executive now, like suit and tie executive. The hell? How the hell did that happen? There's a guy at my job. Every time I talk to him, I know who made the mistake by hiring you, because you're at the executive level. You're not an executive, but he's one of the most smartest, knowledgeable, and supportive guys in the building. But it had to be a mistake hiring him, and that's the way I feel about Chad Wallenberg. Whoever hired him for the executive position he is now obviously made a mistake. They obviously didn't mean to do it. I'm sure he's great for where he's at, but there's little doubt in my mind he does not fit in with the other executives. So he's too busy. He's far too busy to worry about our little peddly, show. With that said, Chad Wallenberg is one of the guys I just love. And I really wish nothing but the best for everything he ever does and gets into. And every time I get a chance to chat with him, which is like once every couple weeks on Google Plus, we do a hangout and I chat with him for a while. Every time I do, it's a literal joy to chat with him.
He used to be a freedom hater. Now I hear that he, in his spare time, he actually just he peels off a layer of the cash in his office and he puts a hit out on freedom.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that now. Yes.
He trolls Craigslist looking for people who need money, hiring, what would you even call them? Backwoods assassins? Maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Bearded assassins or
Yeah.
assassins who assassinate bearded people.
Yeah.
Beard haters.
A tough person for hire, perhaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, yes. Yeah. So Linux Rest of Us Club, that huge digression, and I'm just glad that you got to talk to Russ because I've sent him some messages the past 6 months. I think he forgot who I am.
No, it literally, every time I do message him and he does reply, it literally takes more than a week
Yeah.
for him to reply. He's just so slammed. He's just too. He's at that age where right now, wife, 9 to 5, kids. His kids are literally in college, and he's doing a lot of interaction with them. The man obviously doesn't just love his kids; he loves communicating, talking, and hanging with his kids. So he really doesn't have a lot of time to do much.
So what you're saying is he doesn't have his priorities straight.
He has his own set of priorities, unique unto himself.
There you go. And he is the beast, so he can do whatever the damn hell he wants.
I'm not going to tell him what he's doing is wrong.
No. But just Russ, get your head out of VI and PowerShell for at least 5 or 10 seconds. Hit me back. Let me know you're okay. All right. Well, it was a great show to come back on. I think we had some good moments. Martin wasn't here. That was pleasant.
Oh.
He's going to hear that in 5 seconds. Okay. Martin is always here with us in spirit. I'm just kidding. No, he really is. He's a
spirit. What did you kill him or something?
No, there's a third invisible chair. There's a third invisible person in this chat all the time, and that's always him. And he's joined us on the show before. I want to bring him back on the show and do more stuff. He brings value to the show. He's one of the main tent poles of this organization. I will say that, and he knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Door, anything else in closing?
God bless you, Mr. Cooper. I will say, I don't know yet. Linux Fest Northwest.
Yeah, okay, I know. All right. I wasn't gonna say anything because you're still in. Okay, go ahead.
And I won't say. And I'll be very honest with everyone out there. I do not respond to peer pressure ever. I don't. Hence, in school, I didn't care. I did whatever the hell I wanted to do, kind of thing. I never, ever submit to peer pressure. But
that's a filthy lie.
Go ahead.
I've been in the room.
Fine. Then I won't finish what I was just saying.
Whatever. No. I will say you have a very seasoned history of sticking to your guns. I'll say that. But I have been known to find a chink in the armor and work my way in and work my magic. I'll say that.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm done.
No, you're not.
I'll see you next week.
Come on, man. It's not for me. You're literally depriving our listeners of content. And that's not peer pressure. That's just responsibility from the community.
I think you're trying to peer pressure me.
I'm not. I'm just stating a fact.
Sounds like peer pressure to me.
Well, geez. I'm not going to say that. It'll just make you really upset.
Yeah, I know. Listen, if everyone out there who plans on going to Northwest Linux Fest, just drop me a line. Let me know if you're going.
There you go.
Period. I don't want anybody to say, dear God, I don't want anybody to say, well, if you're going, I'll go, but if you don't go, I'm not going. Do not tell me that. Okay? Yeah. Do not. Just tell me if you plan on going. Period.
I will go, Door, but only. No, I'm 99% sure I'm going. this year. I live so close. There's no reason for me not to have gone already, and I have the vacation time. I'll have the funds available. I've taken steps to secure that, and for OLF this year, maybe one other. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a state north of me. There's no. I mean, I've flown out to the East Coast 3 or 4 times now.
Well, they're not tiny states. It isn't like it's 200 miles or anything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's going north, for less than 5 hours versus flying to the other half of the country. I've already made the long trek. I can make the short trek, and it's supposed to be a good fest. So I want to check it out. I believe Martin. Well, Martin's gone in the past. I can't speak for Martin Rambo Bando.
I honestly, if Martin goes, I only expect him to be there one day because he's too busy.
And he'll spend 90% of that day on the phone.
I didn't say that, Martin. God bless you. I love you, brother.
But if he goes, I guarantee I'll get you a photo of a knife in his teeth and with a red bandana, shirtless.
And I will say this, I did literally have, I don't dream very much, or let me rephrase that. Everyone dreams every night. I don't remember dreams, like even close to often. Maybe once every couple of years I remember a dream. I literally remember having a dream not that long ago where you, and I don't even know what Aaron Tarnball looks like, but Aaron was there in the dream as well. And we were doing mobile recording, and I'm going to guess it was at Lennox Fest Northwest because Aaron was there. I don't know, but we were doing mobile recording, and I remember I took and I stitched together 30 different times or so when I would say, and it was being recorded, "Where's Martin at?" And someone would say, "He's in a corner on his computer. He's answering emails. He's working on a server. Oh, he's too busy. He's on the phone with the client." And I literally stitched together 30 different times of people saying that, and that was a thing and it was all a dream. So,
Well, here's what we can do. I'll set up some sort of a client on his phone. I'll be able to access it remotely from my phone. I'll go turn airplane mode on any moment it's in his pocket.
See, I was going to say I'm tempted to find out one of his customers is and spoof my phone number and pretend call him during the fest. Hello, Martin. Yes, I'm in a lot of trouble right now. We're having very serious problems with our fax machine. I need you to come down tomorrow. I will pay your way.
Yeah. I that's what I could use the Nexus 5 for.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the Pwn phone can do that. If I have to sacrifice my Nexus 5 in order to get Martin to have an excellent Linux Express Northwest, then it's worth it. It's all worth it, every single penny. Okay. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to admit to doing anything and or of such because that would leave me open to potential prosecution and or blame. So
exactly.
It never happened.
This was all just hypothetical.
Yeah.
Story.
We'll get Steve Cherubino to edit this out. You guys aren't even hearing this. Okay. If we're on the internets, where can we find you?
Podnest.com. If you look on Google+, DoorToDoorGeek, DoorToDoorGeek. You can look for me on Twitter or Facebook, but why? Twitter and Facebook sucks. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't care what anybody says. Social media is technically a worthless medium, okay? It's just an ends to a means. What we do right here, we get far more response, we get far more interaction, we get far more hits that are actually calculatable and worth something versus any other social media presence, whether it be a Facebook likes, whether it be Twitter followers, whether it be Google Plus views. They're all essentially meaningless and pointless because there's no guarantee who is ever seeing them actually likes, actually interacts, actually listens, or actually clicks a damn thing. Okay? Use social media as a tool. It's not the ends, it's the means to an end. You know what I mean? It's the tool in your process kind of thing. Do not overly rely on anything in social media. Just use it as a mechanism. Don't use it as the end result. Because I had people literally complain to me saying, your numbers aren't popular enough because you're not popular enough on Facebook. What are you talking about? Facebook likes aren't even real, okay? Go look them up for yourself. Go look at who's the number one favorite liker of Facebook itself. And it's the country of India or stuff. You know what I mean? Twitter followers, 40% of the people on Facebook are fake. They're spam accounts anyway, okay? It's not, and it isn't the end game. It's just one of the tools to your path to an end game. So people need to stop putting so much emphasis on it because it's useless crap.
If I had a body to dispose of right now, I could throw it directly into that argument because that was some deep stuff.
It's true. I don't care what anybody says.
It was deep.
Facebook followers, Twitter followers, Google Plus views do not equate to any amount of credibility, value, or worth.
I'm going to argue with you there.
Yeah, they don't mean nothing.
Yeah, they do.
They don't mean nothing.
Well, they're not accurate, but they are
exactly.
but they are an indicator of engagement.
No, they can be.
No. I would say aside from Facebook, that's an indicator of bots running. Okay, but on the other side, I would say Twitter is the best for that. Google Plus, it can, yes, but yes. I'm talking about just the conversation, not the plus ones, the thumb ups, the likes, the retweets. All that can be automated and whatever. But there is value in.
We actually lost Cody this time. Oh my lord, that means I can just run amok. Okay, look. With a service like Gino Trapani has, can't remember the name of that service she has. The social media doesn't really count it. It's her tool that sucks in the data and does analytics on it that gives the value to it. Sorry, Mr. Cooper.
That's okay. But what I was saying is, it should not be. There is value in the conversations and the relationships, but looking at just from a metrics point of view, and saying that you need to rely on these numbers to get X, Y, or you need to work on these numbers in order to be successful. No, I don't. I would much rather have 50 people that I am in good conversation with on a regular basis than have 1 million followers who are just glancing at me, not doing anything, not contributing, not helping me or further any sort of cause or conversation whatsoever. That's the truth. And you're right when you say you shouldn't rely on it. It shouldn't be a lifestyle. It is a tool and a mechanism. And if you use it appropriately, and like for instance, that's where I get the majority of my news now. I don't have cable TV. I don't ever read the paper. When I hear people say, "Did you watch the news last night?" I'm like, "No, I was working or I was spending time with my family. I don't know the paper. No, I'm not going to pay." By the time the paper hits the doorstep, I probably already read it 12 hours ago. What's the point? Some people love the paper. I mean, if I crosswords, sure, whatever. No, man, this is a huge digression into closing up the show. But yeah, I like social media. So does Door. Maybe I like it more, but that's fine.
Here's the thing.
Okay, here we go.
Twitter is useless unto itself. If you use a tool like ThinkUp to measure those analytics, gather that data, and actually put sense to it, you can then have a tool that can measure the interactions and see if they're real interactions or spam interactions like that. You need something else besides social media to get it an actual value or worth out of it. But I do agree, Twitter is probably the easiest to actually be a useful tool.
And if it's used correctly, it's one of the best. For instance, Gary Vaynerchuk, an author, fantastic guy. One of the things he recommends to use Twitter the best. It used to be a previous service, but Twitter since bought them and integrated. If you want to have conversations on Twitter or figure out not necessarily what's trending. Who cares about what's trending? I could care less about what, because most of the stuff's trending on Twitter. I don't care about, or I don't know who the hell the person is. I don't care.
Kanye West.
Garbage. I know who Kanye West is, but I put a gun to my head and say name 3 Kanye West songs. I'm just going to say pull the trigger. So, but here's the thing that he preaches, and it's very true. Search.twitter.com.
Yeah,
that is good for taking in content, and also let's say for instance, one of the things I did was earlier when I was talking about wanting to learn about Bash and the command line, I did a search for command line and Bash on Twitter. I found a few people. I also threw something individually to a few of those people and got some good conversations started. Now, that is a fantastic tool. So if you, depending on how you're using it, if it's just you as a person, as a technology enthusiast, as a podcast or whatever, that search.twitter.com can be used to great effect. Go ahead.
No, you're wrong.
Yes, it can.
No, it's
by all means, devil's advocate it.
It sucks. use on a full desktop browser twitterfall.com, and you will see how bad search.twitter.com actually does completely and utterly suck. Somebody else had to make a better tool than they have. Twitter can't do anything right, apparently. Everyone else contributing to the Twitterverse makes things that are better than Twitter. And Twitterfall is unbelievably better in search and discovery and finding interesting people or interesting topics to follow, kind of thing. It blows away search.twitter.com.
Door, I will commit to this.
Just my
Go ahead.
personal. Just my personal.
I will say this. I will start using Twitterfall only if you go to Linux Fest Northwest 2015.
I won't give in to peer pressure.
Okay. All right. If you want to contact me online, as always, please, you can contact me on Twitter at CodyCooper.com. Fantastic way to start conversations with me and anybody else in the world, despite what somebody else makes. It's fantastic. Remember? It's not fantastic. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway. Or you send me an email to Cody@podnuts.com. Check me out on Google+, just Cody Cooper. That's CodyCooper. If you want to send in a voicemail to the show, please dial. It's 18. Oh, jeez. Oh my God! I can't believe I forgot this again. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's not in the doc. Hold on, let me think. It's Martin is laughing right now.
Yes, he is.
I have so many 800 numbers in my heads now because of all the conference calls I have to do every week right now. What is it, Dor? 1076 Podnut. That is 107676.
No, there's no 10.
No?
No.
Oh, jeez. Is it? Oh, it's just, yes, 7076 Podnut. It's 707-676-3588, I believe.
I didn't have to tell you.
Whatever. If you want to send in a voicemail into the show, please dial 7076 Podnut. That is 707-676-3588. We will play your voicemails on a future show. Keep them as close to 60 seconds as possible. You go 90 seconds, fine. If it's like 15 minutes long, Google Voice is going to cut you off. And I don't want to hear, a 5-chapter message. Just make it short and concise, because you can do it if you focus. Imagine it's 140 characters or less. And I guarantee you it'll be under 90 seconds. That'd be fantastic. In closing,
they could talk.
Here we go.
Really slow.
But that would be succumbing to peer pressure.
That's called trolling, kids.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right. And if you want to see a great example of trolling, just listen to Dor every time he's on this show and I'm trying to get a point across. Please also visit our good friend Jonathan Nato at the Accessible Computing Foundation, currently at the acf.tk. For as little as $2 a month, you could become a regular contributor to helping those with disabilities gain technological freedom through also by supporting Accessible Computing Foundation. You can also support Sonar GNU Linux, which is a custom distribution which takes a lot of the fantastic work the ACF does and rolls it into a Linux distro that is fantastic for people loss of sight, motor skills. They even have a font in there that is better suited for people with dyslexia, which was really amazing to see and study how that works. I read a couple articles on that, and Jonathan recommended me to a site, and I went and saw it. It was pretty interesting. So you go to sonargnulinux.com, check that out. Currently based off of Manjaro. And they've been seeing some success there, so I'm sure that'll go on for a while. You can go download Sonar GNU Linux directly from the site, or go to sourceforge.net/project/Sonar GNU Linux/files. All right, as always, thank you so much for listening and all the support. We were going to keep this to a shorter show, and that just didn't happen, but I'm totally fine with it. And I'm going to work Dor over as much as I can, get some gears together, just pressure the heck out of him. And we'll see what happens. But please remember, as always, Linux is not just for the rest of us. It is for all of us. Good night.
Well, I don't know why. Is even this computer, one time, the Google Talk plugin basically dropped out.
That's weird.
And quote unquote stopped recording.
Uh-huh.
Let me see for how long.
I just straight up closed my window that one time. I was so worked up what you were saying. I was trying to click back to look at you in the face so I could give you my 2 cents,
Right.
and I hit the X.
It was literally like a minute where the window froze and it did nothing. No audio came across, and then the screen, like the browser, reset. It didn't close or anything. The browser content reset. I saw the Google Hangout icon, and then it reconnected. But for 1 minute, even this box went out. And this is Ubuntu 14.04 running GNOME desktop. So I'm going to try to use that audio. I will need your audio because for that minute you were talking, not me. So I'm going to try to use that audio in my production and see how that goes.
For the first 2 times where you left, I literally just kind of messed around because the first time I was shocked you went away, so I didn't do the professional thing and just continue a thought for a little while until you came back. I actually made a digression, so you could just edit it out, but you'll know because you should have marked those areas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll make sure to mark them again in the future too. That way, if that happens again, I'll send you not only the export in OGG, but I'll send you the Audacity file so you can use my markers as a reference, as a secondary reference. Oh, so I don't know why Sage, you're still there. Okay, we're still live, right?
Here we are.
Okay.
I will say Hootsuite is good for multiple distributions, simultaneous distributions. I don't know how good it is as a search tool.
Yeah. Oh, and then let me check out Twitter fall. But to answer Sage, because he should still be in the chat. No, I didn't watch the Royal Rumble. It's not that I was disgusted by anything that happened recently. It's just that when I get into something, I can't half-ass it. For instance, when I was a kid, I was really into baseball, but I played baseball a little bit. I was a terrible player, but I just wanted to. Well, actually, my parents forced me to play sports for a number of years, and then they one year gave me the option of not doing it. And I said, "Yeah, okay, I'm not doing it anymore." And then I never did, because I hated everybody I went to school with ever, because I was the little fat kid and they weren't. But all that terrible childhood trauma aside, I'm gonna get it together. No. Like if I were to start to watch wrestling again, like I couldn't just casually enjoy an episode here and there. I would have to be following all the blogs, following all the stars on Twitter, being in the fantasy leagues again, going to my buddy Travis's house because he could get me. He is the WWE encyclopedia. His room, several rooms in his house now is nothing but wrestling memorabilia. I'm talking the action figures, the toys, the VHS recordings, the cartoons, the posters, the autographed 8x11s, photos of all the stars, everything. It's like a museum. It's scary. I'm not going to step back into that world. And the older I get, and I have kids now, I realize if I want to focus my energy and power onto something, that's to be something I'm going to get a lot of enjoyment out of, but I can't devote 4 to 8 to 12 hours a day. And for me to get back into something like that, or like I started watching sports again.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
Yeah, I could not just sit and watch a game. I couldn't do it because I'd be like, who is that? What school did he go to? How is he ranked nationally? And I would that's my thought process. So no, I know some of the current stars, and I'll see clips and one thing I do enjoy though, and I Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast.
Oh yeah.
I do like that, and I posted something on Google Plus recently about him and his stance on a particular issue, which I thought was perfect and amazing. But yeah, that's why I don't watch it anymore. I stopped watching it probably back in 2001. Besides, I'm just waiting for what was was it Sexy Steve Valentino?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him to come back. Then I'll watch wrestling again. If Sexy Steve Valentino ever gets in the ring again, you bet your ass I will be there.
Good luck. Yeah, I'll say Ben is still watching. I'm just deathly shocked you guys don't have 50 plus patrons by now. Okay, period. I'm just deathly shocked because I'm just deathly shocked. And one thing I forgot to mention, I'm going to try to mention every time we mention in the Lecture the Rest of Us Club, is if you do not immediately get a email from get response asking you to activate your subscription, well, then it's in your spam folder and you're not an active member yet. Um, some clients on all three, Gmail, Hotmail, Office 365, Yahoo, some people, random people, seem to have it going into their spam folder. Don't know why.
Okay. No, yeah. If I run into any issues with that, I'll let you know.
Yeah, and I will say I was fully prepared to hate Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast and say he's a friggin' jerk, kind of thing. I was fully prepared to say that he's a piece of crap. He's full of himself, because that's what I thought. And then I listened to, I don't know, well, I don't listen to it every week, but I've listened to more than a couple, and I was definitely shocked at, damn, yeah, okay, he's making a lot of sense. He's talking straight and
He's talking straight. He seems down to earth, and everything he says. Like if he billboarded every topic and go, today we're talking about this, you'd be like, oh well, I have an idea of where he sits on this. It wouldn't be that. It would be the more logical take on it, at least from my experience, and you're often surprised. But at some point, you stop being surprised. You're just like, well, yeah, that's the way the Stone. It's that way because Stone Cold says so.
Well, I hate saying yeah. He's much more level-headed, realistic, and stuff than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be an absolute full of himself, jerky jerk. The other guy who I was definitely shocked about how down-to-earth he was Mick Foley.
Yes, yeah, another.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah. I've heard
crazy
with him too.
Something's wrong in his head.
Oh yeah, if you look at his career, you're just the highlight reel anyway. You're like, that guy ain't right.
Yeah, I saw a TNA off the record interview with him, and he basically was saying, yeah, no one should take chair shots like I did, and I shouldn't have either. When you start forgetting, people's names and stuff, yeah, you definitely took too many chair shots.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's been an interesting last half of the month. Yeah, I get paid on Friday. Got a couple of things I need to order. Oh, yeah, I can ask this on there. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm thinking. Oh no, there are people listening. Have you or anybody in the chat? Okay, yeah, I want to throw this out to the chat because we got several texts in here. You guys may utilize this for a customer or maybe at your shop. But have any of you used any HDMI splitters? Not the multi-input ones to turn your one HDMI port on your TV to 3 or 4 or 5, but specifically one that would take an HDMI input and then turn it into 2 or 3 HDMI outputs.
Oh, to multiple outs.
Yes. The reason I ask is the last 2 I've bought had decent ratings. I got one off Amazon, one off Monoprice, but they're both dead now. They're just dead. They're fried. They're dead.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going to assume a good one is going to need its own power source.
They were both powered.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. And then, well, what's the keyword for that device? Because it's not splitter.
Yeah, I just went on Amazon. I searched for HDMI splitter, I believe.
Because I thought they would call it something else when it's like a publishing out to multiples.
1 out, 2 in. No, that's not right. In fact, that might be the one I have there. It might be just because I did use, well, one of them I didn't have stationary for a while. One of them I was carrying around using it on my one on my projector and one on a display. So maybe it took some rough and tumble in my bag.
Yeah, see now how many outs do you need?
Just 2. 2 would be plenty.
Then blindly in the public chat, this is the one I'm going to say is probably better than average, just because it's all mono price.
Oh my god, what the hell am I doing? Okay.
And it does specifically say watch content from a single source on 2 displays in different locations.
Ooh, that one looks nice. That's almost like a metal housing. Ooh, that's way too much money though.
Mm.
I'm buying this for work. I'm not. I can't expense that. But maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, they have a $32 version that doesn't connect two displays one. So this one says the same kind of description, literally half the.
See, even that looks more. Yeah, see, that is a straight up 12-volt power as well. The one I have is one of those little. The plug that goes into the device is one of those super tiny thin ones.
Mm.
And in fact, it may just be the power adapter that's dead.
Well, see,
But
that's why
this looks nice.
I used to always buy from Walmart. I can't remember what it was called. Wall plug. The wall plug had a basically dial on the top to like 10 different settings, and the
Yeah.
cable came out to 3 different prongs with you had different tips you could put on each one of the prongs. You could emulate something like 30 different types of plugs on it. And
Yeah.
I used to have one of them all the time just so I could verify whether it was the plug that went bad or the device, because a fair amount of the time it was the plug.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, and then McNabb said, yeah, Rockfish. Yeah, I saw that. Let me see. Okay, actually, that might be a good. Hold on. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to BestBuy.com. Oh, it's threw up in my mouth. Okay. Yeah, because if I can, I mean, oh, that's not bad. They got one. Wait, is that what this is? I'm seeing AGP Tech.
I
I'm
love
seeing
seeing like Tim in the chat, so I gotta say.
You're not seeing? He's gone?
No, I love seeing him in the chat.
Oh my God, Tim! If
That makes me feel sad because he's not playing Ingress, which made him happy for the longest time. But
well, you know why he stopped playing Ingress? He kept getting arrested.
Well, I know he got pulled over more than a couple times.
Oh, I know. I've heard those stories, and they are good. Look at the one at the top from Free Jack. Let's see. Oh, at the top of the list here. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, that looks almost just like and $20. That's definitely within my price range. What kind of yeah, it has the fatter plug on it.
Did I show you the one I'm looking at trying to
go.
buy here?
No.
The thing I'm looking at buying. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna go let my son in here just a second.
Okay.
Here, come here. Here, get down, Donnie. Come here. Oh, come here. Oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. Okay. Here, look at this. Are you ready? Look at this. Oh, who's that? Who is that?
Hi.
And then look who this is. Okay. See, that's Steven. Can you say hi to Steven? Say hi. Oh.
Hi, buddy.
He's
cool
saying
shirt.
Oh, he says he likes your shirt. Who is this? Who is that? Is that Buzz? Buzz and Woody? What do you think of your bunk bed? You like your bunk bed? Is Daddy going to make it better? Yes. Daddy's going to hook up one of these to the bunk bed. Look at that. How about that? Isn't that neat? Okay. Good boy. Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for the ideas. Yeah, that one at the top of the list. I can't remember even who suggested it.
Do you remember that one spaceship Raspberry Pi thing? The NASA Raspberry Pi control pad thing? You remember that?
No.
Aaron Turnbull showed this. It was a Raspberry Pi contraption. You would like flip the lid, and it was like NASA controls. You would hit a button and a sound effect would have. You hit another button, the light would come on. It looked a little bit time consuming to make, but it looked really cool.
Oh yeah, no, I don't remember seeing that.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah, of course.
You sure that's your kid? Because he's awfully cute.
Yeah, he takes for his mother.
I couldn't help it, man. Come on.
There's somebody on the internet that just said that you're very handsome, and that you couldn't possibly be my son.
Yeah, my oldest son says, never say I'm cute, I'm handsome.
Okay. We'll send this off to the lab and see if Mommy's been messing around. Okay, we'll send it off to the lab. There we go. All right. You're a good boy today? No answer. Yeah, you can't incriminate yourself if you don't say anything. You stinker.
Exactly.
Okay.
Smart kid.
Yep.
Yeah. And I will say, I put a link here, Cody.
Hmm.
L- Lil Putin, my heroine, if you will. Um,
Is that where you're finding all these third world
most
uh,
most
future
most of the,
contraptions?
most of the time, it's either Lil Putin or Linux Gizmos. This
Oh,
one is an Intel quad-core Bay Trail processor, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gig hard drive, which that might be the limitation thing. Like no hardwire Ethernet, only Wi-Fi. Another limitation. Yeah, but it's only $80.
yeah,
The
I
gimmick
saw it. Yeah,
is, but
yeah.
the gimmick is you have to buy from Alibaba, and I don't understand their acceptable payment type codes they're using, like T/P, L/L. I don't know what the hell any of that means. And then it says Western Union, which I know what that means.
Oh, yeah. I've never ordered anything off there. It's one of those things. I don't know. Like you see stuff. Oh, that's a great deal. Oh, I gotta buy 100
Well,
of them. Eh.
here's the thing. I know people who use them. Okay, like the guy who owns a shop in Ellicott City, owns another shop in Bel Air, Maryland, owns another shop in Richmond, Virginia, selling electronic vaporizing stuff.
Mhm.
Alibaba is the source you go to buy closer to the distributor for massive supplies, bulk supplies, tens, hundreds, thousands of something, because you get good bulk discounts. So Alibaba is like a really good hub for that kind of stuff. And
Oh yeah.
if you look at the posting for this computer, they almost kind of really would like it if you buy 10 at a time.
Oh, of
But
course.
um
Because why the hell not?
right. And I'm sure if I was a business buyer buying these kinds of things, I would already know, like looking at eBay, who's
Hmm.
good, who's not kind of thing. But it's only $80.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And with that hardware, you're gonna be able to do so many different things with it. You know.
I, my logic is I would like to be able to load just a basic Linux on it. And
You get to know it really well, and then your wife will take it away from you. I know
no,
how this
put
works.
no. Put a Minecraft client on it and then have my son use that upstairs, logging into a server down here to play Minecraft.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that'll be cool.
But I will say Mine Test is definitely picking up a little bit of steam and momentum, which is the
Uh,
open source variant of Minecraft.
oh, that I will see. I've been listening to people talk about Minecraft for years, and I always saw it much like Monday Night Raw. I was just talking about. I was like, oh, if I get into that though, man, goodbye free time. It'll be all over, man. Game over, man. But now that a certain company owns them,
I know.
I'm much less inclined to even dip my toe in to
Exactly.
support it whatsoever. That's just my personal preference.
Oh, you're not the only one.
I
Trust
know.
me when I say that.
I have a very good. I'm preparing an essay slash thing on
Diatribe.
the on yeah, there you go, on the real reason that I don't care for Microsoft. The real reason, the deep down that I've never shared with anybody.
Well,
The real reason. You guys,
mine's
it's
easy.
coming, guys. Yeah.
Mine's easy. Mine's quick because of their mantra, which is to basically expand, envelop, consume, digest.
I'm pretty sure that's the
Yeah.
Borg,
Well, that's what they do
or
too.
was it Microsoft?
That's what they do too, and that's why I don't like them, because when they do bring something in, they never take from it, learn from it, use it to expand upon itself, kind of thing. They always just take it and change it to meet their mold, kind of thing. The perfect example is Hotmail. When they bought Hotmail, it was all running on Linux servers, for God's sake. It took them something like 6 years to finally change over all the servers on Hotmail to be Windows based, and of course, the
It's
service
been
kept going downhill as they did that. I'm saying
it's
coincidentally.
been so long. I forgot there was a point where they didn't own Hotmail.
Hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah, everything they pull in, they kill. And I'll still say, I firmly believe the main reason the Xbox was initially successful was because it was not built on the Xbox campus, on the Microsoft campus.
Right. Yeah, it was in like a satellite campus, right?
Yeah, they were further away from the politics. They were able to
Yeah.
get away with stuff.
Oh yeah, I see that payment terms TT slash Western Union. What the hell is TT?
I don't know. Titty Twister. I pay with Titty Twisters. I don't know.
Maybe that might hurt.
I don't know. Hurt them, not me.
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, I mean, what, Western Union, $80 to China? You're probably gonna pay 20 to 30 just in the handling charge on that.
I don't know.
This is from dealing with Western Union every day 10, 12 years ago, but yeah, and then shipping on top of that. Jeez. Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a
I know.
better
Well,
way.
wait. The answer is to wait. Have someone else bring it into the country, sell it on Amazon or Newegg or somebody else, where they'll charge 100, 120 bucks for it.
Right.
Because that's what will happen. I mean, you know.
Dude, I can't remember where I saw it. It was it's got to be on my Get Pocket. I'm not going to look now because it's going to get me excited. But you know how Peter64 has his Frankenpie going on?
Yep.
I saw some insane, like, 64 pies, 200 pies with these controller boards, these supercomputers that fit on a desk. It was just insane.
Yeah.
And it was telling you the hardware you need, and they custom TPU and like plexiglass click cases for this huge just monstrosity of a beast of a thing. Man, that's something. Oh, that's my supercomputer. Yeah, it's next to the fridge.
Right. Yeah, I do like the fact that, like, I went into work today
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking about embedded. Okay, in HTML, you view the source, right? You can see all the stuff going on in the background. Okay. There's a way you can take an image, turn it into binary bits and code, and have that inside of the web page. So it's not an external file. It's actually in the web page. And I
Mm-hmm.
told people, we were sending out this mass email kind of thing, the easiest way to do it would be, instead of having to worry about the hosting and the management of all the files on the server, just embed the image. And they said, well, it didn't work for us. I said, what do you mean it didn't work for you? I literally tried it at my house on over 6 devices on over 4 operating systems, which, of course, when I say that, they have no idea what the hell I mean. On over 4 operating systems, on over 20 kinds of email clients, because technically it's different email clients, whether it's Iceweasel, Firefox, Chrome, Chromium, Android Gmail, Android Cloud Magic, all these different ones, and or on Windows using Gmail, it all worked. Every single one. I said the only one I didn't test it on was Outlook, and that's because I don't care if it works in Outlook.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, well, how come it didn't work for him? In a meeting, I just said, I looked. Do you really want me to answer that? She said, what do you mean? I said,
because I'll be honest.
because I'll be very honest about it. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, you're an idiot. You did it wrong. I don't know. What do you want me to say? Worked fine for me. I'm no genius. And I said, if I'm not a genius, that must make you an idiot.
Perfectly logical there. Oh, wow. Well, I think I'm getting the stink eye. Oh, no, I'm not.
You're not.
But my son doesn't want to play. So.
Oh, the O droid. See, I can't go for the I can't go for the O droid. Can't go for the O droid free jack because it's an ARM processor. You can't load Flash on it. You can't load the Google Talk plug in it. It has a very limited use case for what I need. I already have a Qbox i, which is more powerful than an O droid, technically speaking. I already have a Banana Pi, which is probably comparable power to an O droid, and so I already have that niche filled. And everything I saw with the O droid, the OS selection on it was not
Take that, please.
rich. Not like, the Raspberry Pi has crazy OSs on it now.
If you want to see a handsome devil, check this guy out.
Oh my goodness.
Can you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's getting big, aren't you?
See, we need to make him like the cover art on the podcast. We'll get 10 times more downloads.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we keep feeding him. He keeps getting bigger. What is that?
Well, when you feed him, you make him happy.
What is that? You say something? You saying choo choo?
There you go.
He's got some tooths in there now. You got a couple tooths? Where are they?
I cannot suggest more. Frozen waffles, best teething tool there is.
Yeah, he's been eating those, and then My wife's been making extra pancakes and freezing them, and then having those. We have those on our dudes' days, don't we? You little beast.
Well, yeah, that's the gimmick. What people don't understand when I say that, give them to them frozen.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think we've done that yet. We'll try that, and you can say, "Uncle Dora, help me," right? Yep. He already has a plush penguin. He has a penguin onesies, don't you? You're not running no windows. You don't even like being near the window. Nope. Yep. This is my pride and joy. Yeah. The other one looks like his mother. This guy, his mug. That there's no test needed here. This is my child.
Right.
Yeah. This is all me. From day one, they're just like, oh, that's totally his kid. And I was like, yeah, that's cute. Okay, so yeah, here's a little bit of inside baseball. It was this year at Thanksgiving or Christmas. We were I was at her family's get together, and somebody in the family made the comment, "Oh, Cody, he looks so much like he was totally your son." I go, "Yeah, we have yet to get the results back from the tests, just like that." And yeah, see, you think it's funny. Some of them don't get my sense of humor, so literally afterward, or like when I wasn't in the room, it was the hubbub. It was the talk of the talk. Can you believe he said that? Did he really get it, Kayla? Did he really get a test? No, he's kidding. He knows. Don't I? Yeah, Buckham Cowboy. All right, guys. Well, good talking with you again, Dor. Thank you guys for the ideas on the HDMI splitters. Stop it. I'm gonna order. I need another one for work. I got this project going on at work, and my other one died, so
Right.
I'll get that. Are you gonna order one of them computer deals, the $80 thingies?
I don't know.
Okay.
Especially if I can figure out their payment options thing.
Yeah, we'll see if we can work it out. Yeah, it'll be cool to play with.
Yep.
What could we do with it? We get an own cloud server, an SSH server, maybe just a game console. Want to play some Dreamcast, some N64?
GoldenEye.
Yeah, we could just have it playing, but nothing but footage of bowls of fudge.
Yeah.
How's that sound? Pretty good. Yeah. All right. He's hungry. Daddy's hungry.
All right, man.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, guys, everybody in the chat, thank you so much. It was good talking with you guys again, and we will be back very, very soon.